and whatnots. Bender and his massive ego.
Oh my God. That's how we're going to start the morning.
It just randomly came to me. It was
Jesus.
just randomly just popped in there. Just randomly. I don't know why. Don't know why.
Fantastic.
Yes. Fantastic. Anyways, Linda, how was your evening?
It was good. It was good. Thanks.
Yeah, good. So, no, it's like I'm flipping through the headlines, being like, okay, so what are we going to talk about? What are we going to put out there? Really, nothing has necessarily changed. Again, ECB is going to raise rates. We know this. We know quite a few things. We do know that mortgage data was not all that friendly. We do know that, and we sold off of that. We do know that we have more data coming out after the bell. We know that also. We know that somehow, some way, Netflix was able to have fairly shitty numbers and got a pop. That we know also. I'm still trying to work around that. I didn't have a trade put on with Netflix. I'll be looking to trade around it today. But it's interesting given the environment that, those numbers, as middling and pathetic as they were, we get a pop off of "we promise not to suck in the future." Essentially what they said. That's all it really was. Netflix says, "We promise not to suck in the future." Okay. All right. There you have it. This is where we're at with the market, maybe. So maybe this bottom that we've been trying to, squint our eyes enough to see, maybe it's real. Maybe it's actually there if we're buying middling results. Other than that, I don't have a whole lot else to deliver from a headline standpoint. I believe that semi legislation, at least it cleared the Senate last night in a vote, I believe. So now we just kind of sit and wait and watch and see what they're going to do. Semis did appear to have a little bit of weakness this morning after a colossal run the past several days. And we always have to guard against we sell the news event, buy the rumor, sell the news. So there we go. Bender, give us some levels, give us some lines. Tell us what we're watching out for.
All right. Well, let's start with it is Data Killing Wednesday. So, keep that in mind. Look at your positions, realize that I don't know what's going to happen, but oftentimes on Wednesdays, they love to churn things out and just burn premium. With that said, we did reclaim that longer-term trend line that we've been talking about for a while. We reclaimed that yesterday. Now let's see if we can hold it. That is this 3920s area, somewhere between 3920, call it 3920 and 3925, 3928, kind of right in there. That's what we want to see hold, at least, in the near term to continue the momentum. We could see a pullback to 3900. If we bounce there, that would be okay too. But let's watch this 3920s. We also have the 50 MA on the daily sits at 3919. So in that same area. We are at the upper Bollinger Band on the daily. Bollinger Bands are squished together pretty tight, which means that when we do move, we could see a big move, in the near future. A lot of times when these get squished together like this, the move that follows, in the next few days, we can get a pretty big move. So above us, currently sitting at 30, where are we at? 39.34. So above we've got the 39.60 level that we talked about being important yesterday. That was kind of the target yesterday, right? I said if we get above 39.20, it opens the door to 39.60, and that should be the target. And that's where we went. We went to like what 39.62, I think overnight. So the 39.60s is the level that we need to get through that acted as resistance. Above 39.60, we start targeting 4,000. Filling the gap above on SPY would take us to something like 40.10, and then we have 40.41. That was previous area of support and resistance. Below us, there's the 39.20 that we just talked about. Obviously, 3,900 hold number, and 38.96 just below that is the 50 MA on the 60-minute. Obviously, bulls want to see 3,900 hold. If that gives, you got 38.80, which is a level that we've been talking about for a couple weeks. That was a bear to get through. And then below that, 38.55 is the 200 MA on the 60-minute. There you go.
There we go. So Theta Killing Wednesday. So we could play Chop About.
We could.
It's kind of feels like a Chop About kind of day, right?
We certainly could.
Yeah. No. Feels like Chop About to me.
Chop About.
Chop About. Chop About. It really, really does. We've had some pretty like you just went through. We've had some pretty substantial moves in either direction this week alone. Let's forget about all the other shenanigans that we've been kind of navigating around, but we've had some pretty drastic moves. Consolidating, taking a breath, chop, whatever you want to call it, that could be a thing. Another little dip, that could be a thing. The one thing for sure is the patience will pay more so than anything else, and really understanding the environment to where the charts are lining up for a move one way or the other, and the flow is supporting that. I don't think that I think am I wrong in thinking that we do our best work when we do that? When we have charts and flow and patience all kind of lined up and working together?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like these things are there. They're a tool for us to use. So today, I think, at least for me, with Tesla reporting this evening, a couple of more ERs this week, I believe, that have some bearing, and then going into next week, there's some pretty heavy ERs. This seems like a pretty interesting area to kind of chop and chill for a minute until we get another catalyst or there's more clarity within these earnings moving forward as far as what's next.
The only thing I will say about that is that yes, it's Wednesday. We could absolutely chop about. That sounds like a House of Pain, like Jump Around. You should make a song to the chop about. Get out your seat and chop about.
But it feels like it's in the music because so last night before I went to bed, I was like, holy smokes, we're thumping to the upside on futures. And I wake up this morning and I'm like, we're not we're not thumping anymore. And then I start going through some of the individuals and I'm like, okay, so semis aren't doing very well this morning. They were effectively the catalyst the last 3 days to the upward move. So tech and semis weren't all that strong this morning.
Okay, so what I was going to say is that we absolutely could. However, keep in mind that we crossed a pretty significant, at least in the near term, significant level of resistance. That can be the catalyst, right? That whole buying begets more buying. Not saying it'll happen, but that in and of itself could be a catalyst. And same thing if we were to give that up again, we may see a little bit of fear, like, the market has burned people lots this year. So, that as well could be a catalyst going the other direction without anything else. Just something to keep in mind.
Something to keep in mind. All right. Well, I think my plan is gonna be to anticipate, chop, chop,
Chop about.
chop around.
Chop around. Yeah.
It's like that. I think that's how I'm gonna walk into the day. If they surprise me and Flo says, no, we're going to the moon, or Flo says we're doing this or that, or you're like, hey, we're here on the 10 or the 50 or whatever. It's like we might get a chance to run. I know Netflix is locked and loaded within my sites. That motherfucker's dead red, in my opinion. That is just trash, absolute trash. All right, stocking 10. Tell us a story.
Hey, Hells, I got to reboot, so I'm gonna go. I'm not. I'm gonna be off until
You do
the
that with
market
your
opens.
ATIS or something else?
Do what?
You reboot. What?
Do I do
Say
what?
something? Did you say something?
Okay, I'll be back later.
Thank you, Binda. Stockington.
Hello. Yes, I am here. Let's see. Um, thing just kind of jumping out to me from some Bender's comments there. I don't do a lot of Bollinger Bands, but we've got some of our guys in here in the Roadhouse getting their little color promotion stuff going on, and Sun has just been a guy that's taught me a ton of stuff. One of them he's taught me, or that has me watching this TTM squeeze a bit, which, I mean, I kind of get what I'm looking at when I look at it, but something Bollinger Bands fit within something else. So that was just an interesting one. Bender commenting on those getting squeezed. So yeah, and Kang likes to use that one. So just interesting, something to keep an eye on if you throw that on your charts ever. Um, but so I've got my list out there. We got AMD. Um, I had this line 85.9 where it is sitting right now. So that would have been my level to potentially take AMD short. And then I had to the upside about 87.1, which also lines up with the dark pool, but also AMD looking like a potential bearish reversal channel on longer time frames, and it kind of rejected off my trend line, upper trend line pre-market and yesterday. So that will be something to watch. I can drop a chart here in the Roadhouse. And then I had Apple on watch, also rejecting my call trigger pre-market. That was at 151.8. It hit Apple with 244 million dark pool last night at 151 even, which also it held as support pre-market so far. So that will be an interesting one to watch. And then I was going to potentially take Apple short if it loses 150 flat. And that was a fib I had on like an hourly time frame. And then Microsoft, they hit it with 250 million last night at 259.83. I was going to potentially take Microsoft short under 258.85, and just kind of popped over that now. So it's kind of stuck in between the dark pool and the potential put trigger. And then I've been cutting my list down to 3 just to kind of simplify. I've also been sticking with AMD and Apple because I just, those seem to be the ones that I have the better trades on. I might as well just, stick with what works. But I had saw Mr. Swan put out his list, and Meta stuck out to me. He has calls on Meta over 178.76, and then he would take Meta short if it got down around 175. But when I pulled this one out, it jumped out to me. We have a $5.9 billion dark pool on Meta from beginning of June at 175.57, which it is now currently operating just above that. So Meta could be a good one to keep an eye on today with those levels in mind. And that's all I got.
All right, there, Stockington. Thank you so much. Does anybody have anything else? Anyone? Anyone? Anyone have anything else that they would like to contribute and or offer? No. Actually, Freeman put up some good stuff. More stuff in through here. MPC, watching CCL. And so, look, I think we all have a general idea. Oh, Ona says we have phantom prints on both SPY and Q. Did you cover those?
Those